So in Vietnam, the startup are like very innovative and they play a very
Oh,
important
yes,
role.
you asked the banks versus the
Yes,
startups.
yes.
Okay, let me take that. It is not never banks versus startups. There are two ways of looking at it. One, the financial sector has played a very important role in establishing banking accounts for customers, citizens, right? And they are the trusted place where you and I park our money.
Yes.
That role will never go away, right? Large banks, some large banks are able to quickly change their technology, and their technology is also older, right? To digitize and make more digital offerings available. Other banks do struggle. This is reality, right? But I think in the emerging world of fintech and startups, we don't need to choose between one and the other, because the way banks are themselves evolving is they recognize what they can do or they cannot do, and they are working with the fintech players to create the solutions for their consumers so that they can retain their customer base, right? So this is already happening. Obviously, newer technology, newer business models, more hunger, less regulation makes experimentation easier, right? And therefore, you see a lot more activity in the technology space. But in the long run, to have seasoned technology players, they will all have to work together.
Yeah. So do you think that the governments should help the banks to reduce or to make less regulation to make them more innovative or just like startup?
I think there is a DNA of every organization, and regulation should certainly encourage innovation. Now, if that innovation comes from the banking sector, that's great, but that innovation can come from any other place as well. I think that it would probably be a better point to make, because in certain markets like the UK or Australia even, regulators have taken a stronger step of basically saying it's all about the customer. Therefore, banks must expose or make available customer data on request so that the fintech players or any other technology players or telcos or anybody else can actually provide better service offerings to the customer. So there are markets where regulation has taken that bolder step already. So if you look at always the big 4 or 5 banks, then yes, you know, some regulatory engagement is required, but typically the industry responds to the opportunity in the market.
Yeah. So at your point, do you think that in Asia, in Southeast Asia, the banks would change only one thing? That thing, what would it have? Do you
Embrace digitization.
think?
Embrace digitization.
Can you make some example?
So partner with these technology players to expand the services to the consumer, because you need to keep a loyal customer, otherwise they will attrite. Second, you try and make it easy to do business with you, like just make it easy. The processes, the approval processes, providing loans to SMEs, transactions on the mobile. These are all things that the customers need because somebody else is offering. That is what I mean by embracing digitization.
So in Vietnam, like 95% of payment are in cash. So we, Vietnam government, are trying to be
Cashless.
Yeah. So what do you think that cashless payment would help emerging country economies like Vietnam?
So we did a bit of study in most countries, right, where you are on 90-95% cash and you're trying to move towards digitization. Just BAU, BAU, there'll be a 10% lift in your GDP just by doing digitization. Beyond that, if you actually apply yourself and do it in a very systematic manner, there should probably be 2x of that. One study we did showed that there is probably $100 billion of incremental GDP for Vietnam by 2045 if you did massive digitization.